everybody, Andrew here, and welcome to a video review of the Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Bumblebee. So is this latest version of Bumblebee worth picking up? Let's find out. As with every new Transformers series, you get brand new packaging, and with this one, it's not too bad. I like the design of it. It's simple, yet to the point, but at the same time, not too boring or bland. You still have Transformers running along the right side in red with a white background. You have some nice artwork of Bumblebee himself in both robot and car mode. And of course you have Bumblebee's name on the bottom with the Autobot faction logo on the top. The back of the card is where things get a little interesting. Not only do you have multiple languages on the bottom, but you have the instructions for Bumblebee printed on the back as well. And of course you have the obligatory product shots. And across the center of the card, you have an advertisement for the Transformers app. So it's nothing that I'm interested in, but if you are and you have a smartphone, then you can scan the top of this Autobot logo here, as well as the Autobot logo on Bumblebee himself, which will enable some features in the app that you can use. So now that we've seen the packaging, let's move on to Bumblebee himself. And here he is, the 2015 Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Bumblebee. Obviously he's based on the Robots in Disguise cartoon series that's debuting in 2015. And he is a yellow sports car, which is not a big surprise considering that he is based a lot on the Transformers Prime Bumblebee. And there's a lot of resemblance to how he was to how he is now. They're both yellow, obviously, a slightly different shade on the new Bumblebee, but they're both yellow. They've got the black stripes. They're both missing paint apps on the back. This guy has more stripes, this guy not as many, but still the same concept. And they're about the same size. This one's a little longer than this one, but generally they're pretty close. I kind of wish they had painted the wheels a nice silver color instead of leaving it all black, which is something that Hasbro seems to do a lot lately with a lot of their cars, unfortunately. I can overlook it, and one thing that is a positive about this figure is that they did a nice job matching the molded plastic with the painted plastic, which is something that we have not seen in all of the Bumblebees in the past. Another nice feature about this toy is that he does have weapon storage. He comes with a translucent blue sword, which does store nicely on the bottom of the car. One thing that I do wish though is that it attached a little bit more firmly, as mine is a little bit on the loose side, but it does hang in there, it does stay in there fairly well. And it's weapon storage that does work for this car. Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Bumblebee's transformation is rather simplistic. You start off with removing his weapon from storage there. Set it aside. You're going to unpeg the doors, which in my figure are really in there. They peg in right there, as you see, there to there. And you bring them down. They go down together in unison. Next, you're going to remove the roof here from its position on top here and bring it forward. This will become part of the legs here, which is different from the previous version of Bumblebee where the front became his chest and arms. So this is more like the original Bumblebee where the front becomes his legs and feet. You're going to bring it down, separate, like so. Bring this around here. These are the feet. Bring them down. And you're going to swing it around like so. You're going to bring the arms from this position here upward. Do the same on the other side. And take this back trunk area, flip it around, bring the doors to a position you like, sideways, and pretty much that's how you transform Bumblebee. Bumblebee's proportions are rather heroic. He has broad shoulders, a pronounced chest, a small waist, and powerful legs. And I have to admit, I really dig the new head sculpt, especially his new facial expression. Here is a comparison of the Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Bumblebee with the Transformers Prime Deluxe Class Bumblebee. And I have to say, I like the proportions of the new Bumblebee over the Prime Bumblebee just a little bit. And his overall design seems a lot cleaner in comparison. One thing that would have benefited this figure a great deal would be heel spurs, because without them, he's easy to top over. And it would not have been difficult to do since you have all this hollow area on his feet where they could have added a small plastic flap that could have flipped out and given him a little bit support in the back here. Because these things here don't help at all. So you kind of have to lean him a little bit forward, both at the feet and at the waist, to get him to balance properly and not topple over so easily. What does help is his accessory, which is this very cool translucent blue sword. I really like the design of this thing. And having some weight going forward is an added benefit to this figure because of the lack of heel spurs. And when you have that, it really does contribute positively to his balance. Not to mention, he looks really cool. As far as his articulation goes, it's pretty decent. His head cannot rotate all the way around, but he can move left and right about that far. And his head can look up a little bit, down a little bit. His articulation at the shoulder allows him to move out about that far. He can rotate all the way around, except when you have the door out, then it gets in the way. But otherwise, he has a wide range of movement at the shoulder. He does have articulation at the elbow, where it can bend about that far. It can also rotate around. He has nothing at the wrists. He does have waist articulation, where it can rotate all the way around because of his transformation. He has articulation at the hips, where his legs can move out, forward, and back. He can also twist at the waist a little bit. And he does have a second joint here where he can twist at the leg where the knee is at, all the way around. He can also bend at the knee a little bit. These back pieces do get in the way, so there is not that much of range of motion there, but it is there nonetheless. And he has foot articulation as well per his transformation, but again, without those heel spurs, there's really not that much you can do with that. So what's the verdict of this Bumblebee? To be honest, I have mixed feelings about him. He's not a boring figure, but he doesn't wow me either. There's nothing really exciting about him. However, he is a pretty decent figure, and I cannot stress that enough. I like the idea of being able to scan his Autobot symbol on his chest and use that towards the app that they have available online. I do think that younger kids will enjoy that. But as for the figure itself, he's got decent articulation, although he is in terrible need of heel spurs, and of course he can use more paint apps, but otherwise, it's okay. I mean, it's the only one that I truly would pick up. If any one of those that you had to choose from. Grimlock's disappointing, he's too small, he's too simplistic. The other ones, they just don't appeal to me. So, again, that's just my opinion. If you like them, great, go for it. But for me, so far, this is the only one worth getting. I give him a 7 out of 10 overall. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video review. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.